My name is Zach Hardy, and this is Holy Cross Crusaders Franchise Mode Part 13. This is the statistics check episode of the franchise mode, obviously coming as Part 13. We're a bit down stretch in the season, so the statistics are, pretty up there. But then again, there are some good and there are some bad. Obviously, we're going to start with passing. So the Crusaders, Corey Fabiano is their starting quarterback. He's accomplished what is now Week 12. It's Week 12, may I remind you. Before we even play the Week 12 game, so it's technically Week 11. Corey Fabiano has amassed 1,928 passing yards, 112 pass completions, 167 pass attempts, 18 touchdowns for 13 interceptions, completion percentage of 67%, yards per game is about 192, 109 passer rating, 11.5 yards per attempt, longest pass went for 80 yards, he's been sacked 16 times, and he's played the 10 games we played. Yes. We have a backup, obviously. Backup Alphonse Fakanji. We don't give a shit about you. Alphonse Fakanji, we care about you. 91 yards off of 9 passes for 18 attempts. 9 completions for 18 attempts, 1 touchdown, 5 interceptions, 18.2 yards per game, 5.1 yards per attempt, 15 yards as long as passing. He's been sacked twice. Now with rushing, obviously our leading rusher is Mark August, who has on 142 carries, 1,023 yards. He's passed the 1,000-yard mark, 7.2 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns with 1 fumble, about 102.3 yards average per game, 17 broken tackles, 218 yards after contact, 76 yards was the longest run he's played. And then we have our quarterback, Corey Fabiano, with 18 attempts, 142 yards, 7.9 yards per carry, 2 rushing touchdowns, 4 fumbles, 1 broken tackle, 8 yards after contact, and 19 yards was the longest run. He's got about 14.2 average yards per game rushing. Phil Serva, the fullback, 5 attempts, 28 yards, 5.6 yards per carry, no touchdowns, no fumbles, 1 broken tackle, and 8 yards after contact. Now we go to receiving. Tight end Wyatt Shea, 31 receptions, 383 receiving yards, 38 yards per game on average, 2 touchdowns. William Guglielmo, 29 receptions, 735 yards per reception is about 25 yards per game. It's about 73 yards, 7 receiving touchdowns, second only to Kingston Zenick, who has 26 receptions, 547 receiving yards, 21 yards per reception, 54 yards per game, 8 receiving touchdowns. You have DeAndre Wallace with 21 receptions, 252 yards, 12 yards per reception, 25 yards per game, and a receiving touchdown. And then you have the remainder of the statistics. Blocking, you have Matt Dorn with 6 sacks allowed, Justin Babarski with 5 sacks allowed, Alex Ward with 3 sacks allowed. Games played, obviously all of 10, and obviously 384 downs, most of them down played. Defense is a big key. Solo tackles, that lead goes to Brandon Barron with 32 tackles. Assisted tackles goes to Cole Foster with 26. Total tackles goes to Brandon Barron with 56. Tackles for loss is led by Zaire Roundtree and Matt Judson with 5, Brandon Barron with 4, Cole Foster, Nicholas DeMatteis, and Tito Nieves with 4. Sacks, the total, Tito leads the charge with 5.5, Donovan Montville leads the back with 5, 4.5 to Matt Judson, 3.5 to Tavian Whitehead, 3 to Zaire Roundtree, and 1 for Cole Foster. Interceptions, John Goggin leads that with 3. Interception return yards, he also leads interception average and interception return. Pass deflections goes to, or it's a big tie, John Goggin, Brandon Barron, Derek Pruden, and Nicholas DeMatteis. Forced fumbles, 2 for Cole Foster, 1 for John Goggin, Donovan Montville, Tito Nieves, and Matt Judson. And defensive touchdowns, John Goggin with 2. And then you have kicking. Connor Dunn, 8 for 8 on field goals, 29 for 32 on extra points. There's that. Punting, we have Sean Austin with 9 punts for an average, or for about 392 yards, an average 43 yards per punt. Kick return, Karan Brown with 4 kick returns for 98 yards, 24 yards on average for his kick returns, no touchdowns. And Lee August, 15 kick returns, 346 kick return yards, 23.1 per game. And DeAndre Wallace, 1 kick return, or 2 kick returns for 1 yard. Longest is 1. Those are both off of onside kicks. And then punts, Lee August leads the charge. 15 punt return attempts, 163 punt return yards, 10.9 is the average punt return. And yeah, longest punt return was 22 yards. With that being said, that's all we have. I'm sorry for the pause. That is all we have for this episode of the Holy Cross Crusaders franchise mode. Obviously, statistics a little bit on the lower side, but then again, we're going to try to boost those up as the season goes along. We've still got 6 games left in the season. If we don't make the playoffs, which is possible, but doesn't look like we will miss the playoffs, we will be headed for a good season. We got 6 games left. Let's try to net up those yards, possibly get Corey Fabiana to 3,000 yards passing on the season, just to help him out there and try to shy away from the interceptions. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed my comment and subscribe for more. I'm Zach Hardy. I'm signing off.